Right, Cura team, welcome back. We are straight back into it. So I have loaded up this with the maximum axle weight it can carry. So like I said to you, I use the axle weight limiter on it, which basically says this is as much weight as it can carry, not volume as it can carry for this particular product, which is 68%, which is still 15,398 liters. Now we're going to drop this off here. Now the grids are for produce that I'm carrying, which is like harvested crops and various other bits and pieces. The other one, tip trailer, is for things like bales. Hay bales, straw bales, wool bales, anything like that. Don't get the two mixed up. Bales do not go on the grid. Bales go over there. The other material does not go on the ground. It goes in here. Now, it's important that we check this, or it could be important depending on how you want to play the game. So when we get over here, and this is a bit of an annoying one because it's not an even number, it's 15,398 liters. So 15,398 liters has come off. Now, it's saying that is equivalent to 65%, no, 70% transported. So we don't want to look at the complete, we want to look at the transported. So it's saying that 15,000 etc. was the equivalent of 70%. So if we deliver a full truck again, we will have delivered or transported 140% of the contract, which is fine. We'll get credit for that, and we'll get paid for that. And then it will say that the contract is complete, which, you know, arguably it could be. There may still be stuff on the field. We'll need to see what that looks like. Now, if you wanted to be a cutting and savvy money saver, what you might say to yourself is, well, hang on a minute. Why don't I deliver up to 100% of this, and then I'll keep the rest for myself, and I'll sell it at a later date. And we're currently on sorghum, right? So on sorghum, if we go to this one and we have a look down at sorghum and we have a look at the fluctuations, we're in September time. So the prices are actually going up. So in January, if we say that it's going between 610 943, so that's a difference of 300 across those 6 divisions. So that's, what is that, 50, 100? So there's possibly a $200 per 1,000 liter difference between selling it now and selling it in January. So in theory, you could make a lot more money. You would need a silo to put it in, and I don't have a silo to put my stuff in as yet, which is fine. You know, we could always, in theory, buy one. But that's how harvesting kind of works. So if we accept that 15,000 was 70%, we want a third, and it was over 15,000, so it was more than 5. So let's call it 5,500. So I think when we're at 5,500, there's a fairly solid chance that we'll be pretty much done. So let's have a look, shall we? 5,500. Let's give this little theory a try. Let's see if we get to 100% transported. Yeah, there you go. You see? So that says that the contract's now complete. Now the AI worker hasn't finished. He's still out there. He's still out there going ahead, and we ran over slightly by $33, but only very, very slightly. So my mental arithmetic for once was not actually as bad as it could be. And if any of you have known my mental arithmetic before, you'll know that it can be pretty bad. But yeah, good math. See, that's what happens. Anyway, so let's go up, because then what we'll do is we'll let this guy run out the last of the harvest, and we'll pick it. We'll see how much of this material we can pick up. Right, remember, don't finish the contract, because this isn't my truck. Right, so 2,200 of that kind of field. So we got 2,200 of free product. Right, so everything after this is just straight profit. So this is all going straight to us. So there you go. So that was 1,600 bucks. And I don't need to harp around with that stuff anymore because the contract is complete. So we go to the top of our list. This contract is complete. We get 2,601 for what we just did. Lessing, of course, that doesn't include the hire of the AI worker, but we did get 1,600 bucks on top of that. So we'll complete that, and that will be grandy. Oh. So I do believe, if I recall correctly, that I have not, but we will go there. We'll go visit the shop. Right, and we'll have a look at this potato harvesting contract, this one. So the potatoes in field 73, and take it to Johnson's Farmers Market, which is way the other side of the map. Well, it's not way the other side, but it is far away. So we'll agree to that, and we'll go have a look at potatoes. So here you are. Here is the potatoes. It's pretty wicked looking gear. This is the D-header bit on the front. Like I said, some of them come with the D-header attached. So this is the D-header. Down here at the bottom is the harvesting gear. They drop a pickup which goes along the ground and it picks it up. It's fascinating, this one, because you end up with potatoes revolving around the outside. It's all very good fun. You've got a reasonably sizable tractor and a reasonably sizable trailer. So that's not the one I wanted to get into, thank you. I want to get in that one. We'll take this over to field 73. So it is straight down there at the bottom. Look at the size of this thing. It's a massive, massive unit. The potato stuff is, I mean, it is absolutely huge. Look at the amount of stuff that's going on inside this. I mean, admittedly, some of this is stock imagery, which is, you know, it's probably different on PC. But my goodness gracious, what a bit of kit. What a bit of kit. What a bit of kit. Right, so we need to turn left here. Turn left, and we'll head on down to the field. So you probably don't need to be here for me driving this big, incredibly slow bit of kit down there. So what I will do is I'll head on down there, and I'll see you when I get there, shall I? See you soon. Right, well, here we are, and this thing is offloaded, and look at it, it's an absolute monster. And that's the D-header bit on the front, so that takes the tops off the potato plants, which you have to do before you harvest it. You can't just come in with a harvester. I did say that you do need to do that. And look at all this gear that is opened up on this thing. So it's ready to go. We're going to turn it on, and we have done that, and it's ready to rock and roll. So we're going to head off down this field, and we're going to get an AI worker going, and it's 10 Ks again. And oh man, look at that mess. Now you see the potatoes coming in there, and the potatoes are kind of like sticking out the back, and bits and pieces. It's all going to come in at little odds and sods and all the rest of it, which is just grand. So we're going to let the AI worker carry on with that. We're going to bring the tractor down, but essentially it's the same deal, right? Which is you go under this belt, this yellow belt here, and it offloads it into the truck. When the truck's full, we are going to have to take it to Johnson's Farmer Market, which is up at the top, which is where we were. So it is a bit of a drive to get up there, but c'est la vie. So this is potato work. Yeah, the reason that it's a little bit more time consuming is it's quite a lot narrower. This is about as wide as you get out of potato work. So with a harvester, you can harvest a much larger field a lot faster because you've got a header that's about 3 times, 4 times as wide as that. They don't get any wider than this, not that I've seen, unless there's a new mod out there. But essentially, potatoes are plowing stuff up out of the ground, potato machines. So they're pretty much the size they are. These machines are also big and bulky and a little bit tricky to turn around. So when he gets to the end here, when they get to the end there, and they carry on, you see they got a little bit to do. I'm not convinced. Did he harvest all of that? It looks like he did, because the cutter runs ahead, slightly ahead of the harvester on the Grim. But this is how they do it. The AI does this, lines themselves up on the crop, and then reverses back out again, and then comes back in. It's not how I would do it, but it's how the AI is programmed to do it and make sense of it, which is fine. And then they'll carry on. So they'll carry on doing that. It is time consuming. It is 6 o'clock in the evening game time, which means that I don't know why I thought West was in the other place, because this map would be upside down. North would be below me, not above me, and east west is turned around. That's a bit odd. Anyway, not a big problem. This will carry on into the night. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to see if there's any other simpler contracts, and then I'll bring the truck over here, and then we'll load up the truck and we'll see how much of a percentage we get out of the first truckload, shall we, when we get to Johnson's Farmer Market. I'll see you soon. Right, here we are. 22,000 litres of potatoes. And after me telling you, you don't tip stuff here, you tip stuff here. You tip the potatoes here on the ground. They don't go into the silo. So yeah, I forgot to say those harvesters carry an awful lot of stuff. So this is the 22,000 litres of potatoes, which is transporting how much? 15%. So what is that? 6.5 times. So we got to do this quite a bit. 22,000 liters. Oh my. So yeah. So there's going to be a little bit of to and froing, and it is a bit of a journey. It is across the other side of the map after all. So it does take a little bit of time to get there. Which, you know, is what it is. I don't think we can go this way. I think we can go this way. So, yeah, oh no, we do go this way. Jackknife. So, we're gonna go this way. I will get back to where I need to get back to anyway, and then we'll have a look at, how we're doing. Yeah, this is the turn off here. We'll have a look at how we're doing when we get closer to the end, and we'll have a look at what the potential overburden for potatoes is in terms of the potential profit that you could make. See, by the time I get back, he's going to be full again. Anyway, Tel Aviv, I'll carry on. I'll see you soon. Right, so I thought I'd bring you into this. I don't know what the AI worker has done. Possibly gone mad. He's left a huge strip of potatoes. So I'll need to fix that at the end. This is what I mean. The AI workers can get a little bit confused sometimes and do strange things. But look, he's full now by the time I get back here, which is fine. I'll offload him, and I'll take a full 22,000 liters out of him. And then I'll head back up and wonder why. Anyway, I'll see you closer to the end. Right, welcome back. Here we are. Right, okay, it's midnight. Oh, blimey. So we have finished the field. We've finished the potato field. I had to go back and do a bit of mucking around because, as you saw, the AI worker got a bit confused. I think it was the power poles, because he couldn't reverse properly. they have like a buffer around them. So if they get too close to obstructions like purples, they just don't do it. Anyway, the point is, I worked it out that a full container, which is 22,000 liters, is 15.5%. We need to drop off another 7% to finish this contract because we've transported 93% or thereabouts. So 7% is slightly more, slightly less than half. Should be 11,000. We've got 14,500 in. So I'm thinking if I try offloading and I stop with about 3,500 to go, we should be complete. Let's see. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, we're already done. We finished early, so we got quite a bit extra there. So my math is as usual sterling. So in theory, if we wanted to, there's 4,000 liters of potatoes here that we could take away and store and do whatever we want to do and all the rest of it. I'm not going to do that, but I just wanted to show you how it kind of works or how it's done or how it everything else. So we end up with $3,000 worth of $3,500 worth of harvest income, which is fine. Save content. Right, okay. So we'll go down to our contract and we'll say, yay, this one's complete. So we'll collect the 9 grand for that, and we are all tickety boo boo boo. So you have seen, we're waiting on a good baling contract coming through. I want to show you the bale lifter. And none of these have bale lifters. These are the same guys again, aren't they? Same guys and gals again, where they got the individual bale lifting gear, which I don't really want to do, mainly just because it's paying de boom, and I ain't going to do it. Yeah, so we're going to need to wait for one of those. I've shown you potatoes. I've shown you sorghum. I've shown you plowing and various other bits and pieces. So there's not a great deal in the contract space to continue to have a look at. And if we go to our fields, where are we with growth? We're still close to growth. And the reason we're still close to growth is because corn and sunflowers don't kick in until October. It is September the 2nd. It's September the 3rd. So it is the last day of September. And from our perspective, 3 days per month, that means it's the last day of the month. So we have a little bit of quote-unquote time to kill. And there's some stuff that needs doing. So I think what I'll do is I went back and I loaded the chickens up, I loaded the sheep up. Everybody's good. They're all good. They've produced 46 liters of wool. They've produced 16 pieces of eggs, presumably 16 eggs. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. I'm surprised they don't do water. They used to do water. Maybe they do water at a higher level, and these smaller pens don't need water, because I used to have a little water truck and I used to drive around and fill it with water and go and fill the water trough. And if you actually read the help stuff for animals, it says for animals that you if they are happy and healthy and have food and water and general da 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 yeah. Stables. While stables have water connection, pastures must be supplied with water. For this, you need a tractor and a trailed water tank. Maybe because it's a barn and it's a pasture, it's already got a water connection. So if I went and just did the pasture bit, I would need water. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure in FS19 I had a little barn stable for my sheep. But hey ho, there you go. So we got stuff, and we got our bees, which doesn't, for some reason, show up here. I don't think I can go there. Can I? Can I go to any of these places? I can. I can go over here. We're going to have a look at our bees. Woo, Speedy Gonzales. We're going to zippity do that. I don't know why there's a blue light there. I think because there's a drop-off point in here, but the way they've created this, turned this barn so you can't use it. Cheeky. Anyway, over here is our bees. I don't see any bees. I mean, I guess it is nighttime. There's our honey. Honey. Object is too heavy to pick up. I can't even pick up like a little crate of honey. I'm pretty sure I could pick up a crate of honey. Anyway, that's our honey. So we're making honey and we're making stuff. We're making thing, and we see that our plants are going and everything else. Our grass hasn't come back, which is fine. Yeah. So enough waffle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to sleep. And sleep away until the morning, and then when I get back, I might do a little bit of something simple, plowing and so on and such like, which you don't need to be involved in. And when October comes around, we'll have a look at harvesting these two things, which is sunflower and corn. And I think what I will do is I'll buy a silo, so I can show you what a silo looks like and what your silo ends up filling with. And we'll deal with harvesting sunflowers and harvesting corn, and we might look at maybe sunflower oil. Maybe the oil mill does sunflower oil. We can see about taking some sunflowers down there or something. Yeah, anyway, we'll have a look at it. And then after that, we'll be able to talk some of the basic field maintenance. So a little bit of time to kill, but I promise you, I'll be back in October. I'll see you all real soon. Right, hello again. It's October. You'll see that my field has changed. Now, my lovely field of sunflowers, they all look like they're ready to harvest. And it says they're ready to harvest. My corn, not quite, and it's raining. So my corn, not quite, and but we'll need to get on that. So we'll talk about that. But before we do that, I wanted to do something. So sorry, the radio's off. So we'll stick the menus off. The radio's off. The radio's on. So sunflowers and corn. Our corn ain't ready, but our sunflowers is. But before we do that, let's have a look at our finances. So a few months have gone past, so let's have a look at the situation. So this is a handy screen that deals with all of your associated costs and everything else. Let's go to the top. Now, I did warn you about payout before pay in, and that's still true, right? So I mean, you have a look at these expenditures. We got $60,000 on vehicles. We got nearly $12,000 on livestock. We've got construction costs, land purchases. Now they're all capex, so they're all capital expenditures. We'll not make money out of the construction stuff. We'll not make money out of the vehicles. We'll not make money out of the land per se, although we'll make money out of what we farm on the land. We won't make money out of the livestock, but we will make money out of what the livestock produces. Now, you'll also see down there's a property maintenance charge. You do pay maintenance on your buildings. The more buildings you have, the more maintenance you pay out. Yeah, okay, fine, overhead. Vehicle leasing, that's not an overhead. That really depends on the amount of vehicles we lease. Now, that's probably a little high because of the contract that I mucked up. Yeah, because I paid the lease on those vehicles, and I'm being attacked by a moth, and then we never made any money. Have fuel costs, which is just variable. We have water costs, which is based on our animals. So they are pulling water costs, as I said. I did think they were, and they are. We have harvest income, so 6,363, not our crops, but other people's crops. We have 41,974 of contract income, which is fine. We paid out 11,000 in wages and MISC 6,000. MISC will be things like food for the chickens and bits and pieces. I'm not sure why quite it's 6,000, but there you go. So taking all of that into account, are we up or down? 21,000 plus 133 is 2133 plus fuel is 21,900, 2,200 plus 11 is 39. So while September looks bad because of the large payouts, we're actually up in September a little bit. We made more in our variable costs than we did in some of our capital expenditures. So panic ye not. But we have obviously forked out 500 odd thousand bucks, and we started out 1.5 million. We're now at 981,000, so we're below a million, which is fine. What do you want money for anyway? Can't take it with you, you know. So that's the situation we find ourselves in. But where are we, and where are we, and where are we? Well, here is where we are. So we have some sunflowers, and we need to go and harvest some sunflowers. So what do we need to harvest sunflowers? Well, we're gonna need a harvester, which is up here, and we're gonna need a header, like I've said before. Now, sunflowers could pretty much any harvester. So you'll see here, this is the smallest harvester they had. You see the crops at the bottom, which is like, you know, it's, well, I don't know what that is, the various bits and pieces, but it's like canola, wheat, oats, maybe that's sorghum or something, but it's sunflower, soybean, and corn. So the Nova 330 can harvest it, right? As do all of these. So all of these things harvest corn. Corn is one of those universal crops, and that's great. So if we want to harvest it, we could harvest it with that machine. Do we need to harvest it with that machine? Could we harvest it with another kind of machine? Good question. We've got a header here. So this is the simplest header. It won't do corn. Sorry, sunflower. This will. So we'd have to get this header, the Helianthus. Now, I think it's only the Helianthus. There is a no. Yeah, the Helianthus 12,000. So yeah, so the Helianthus ones are the ones that do sunflowers, because the sunflower is called a Helianthus. Big surprise there. So that's 32k. So we'd have to lease one of those as well. Is there any other way to get corn? Don't think so. I don't think there's any other harvesters. I don't think there's any other way to harvest other than using harvesters. So we're pretty much stuck with what we've got. Forage harvesters are different. They don't do that. So if we want to harvest this, the only way around this is that we're going to have to hire the not the forest harvester. We're going to hire the Nova 330, and we're going to have to harvest our own stuff. We've got a little trailer, and that's fine, all the rest of it, etc. But that's not what we want to do with it. Why is it not what we want to do with it? Well, it isn't what we want to do with it, because if we look at the prices for a sunflower, as I said to you before, it's October. Actually, the prices aren't too bad in October if we can harvest it fast enough. The price might be better in March if we keep it to March, but if we harvest it quickly and sell it, we can probably make a reasonable amount of money. So let's see if we can harvest it quickly and sell it. And the reason I say that is because we have a relatively small field. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the shop, because it's always a good idea to go to the shop. And what we will do while all of this dance music is playing is we will rent this sucker, which is fine, or lease it depending on how you look at it. We will go to our headers, and we'll go to the Helianthus, and we will lease that sucker, and we will go outside. And this one, because I've leased it, I haven't bothered with a header trailer. And the reason I haven't bothered with a header trailer is because it's going to cost me more money. It's frankly, sir, going to cost me more money. So what I'm going to do is just drive down the road. Oh look, it's getting foggy. It's getting foggy. So what I'm going to do is it doesn't exactly move fast, these things, but they do take up a lot of room. And to heck with the traffic. So what we're going to do is we're going to move down the road. We've got our little tractor and our little trailer, and this guy has obviously his own storage tank. And what we'll do is we'll get this guy harvesting, and we'll bring our little trailer around, which doesn't hold much, and we'll see where the best prices are. We might have to do a little bit of running around, but we've got 3 days in October before the prices drop, and we have plenty of opportunity to sort that out. So I mean, you've seen me do this before, harvesting. This is not why I wanted to bring you in. So what we'll do is I will carry on. I will harvest some stuff, and I will find out where the best place to sell it is, and I will sell it, and I'll bring you in probably after we've harvested, and then we'll talk about what we need to do next with our field. I'll see you then. Right, well, here we are. While the good old Blues Brothers boys playing background, we're all done. 4,885 bucks for this little field. Look at all these little stubbly bits and everything else left behind, which is fine. So it says there's weed growing. It still lists the crop as sunflowers, yada yada yada. So no problem. Otherwise, it's actually in pretty good condition. I was going to go through all the things you need to do, but this field is not going to play ball. So what we want to do is next year we'll probably, what I decided, so we sold it to Feed and Grain South 1362, which is not bad. 1452 possible max. We lost out on a few $100, probably not an awful lot more. We got it done pretty quickly because it's obviously a tiny field. But what I was proposing, or what I do propose, is that we'll do this field with sunflowers again for the next year. And I'll keep treating it to try and get as much yield bonuses as possible, and I'll go through treating it to get yield bonuses with you guys, and we'll have a look at it. So I think the main thing we can probably see here first when we're looking at it is that it needs to be fertilized, which is hunky-dory, but it also probably is going to need to be turned over as well. Now, you can see that the soil composition doesn't quite know what to do to make up its mind. The growth it's listed as harvested. The soil composition is not really sure. It seems like maybe some of it needs fertilized. Some of it does not. But this is all showing as 0. So this is not fertilized. So it probably needs to be, some edges are fertilized and the bit is not. So it's sort of struggling a bit. So you will remember, or you may remember from this thing, that if we have a look at crops, we have the farming basics. So everything is going to need to be cultivated. Now, here's the thing, and it's a thing called field states. So this is a field state. The current state of this field is harvested. So what we want to do is we want to change the field state to make the most amount from it. And then, so what I would suggest we do is we cultivate, we fertilize, we may have some stones, we may have to pick up some stones, and we may need to seed, and we may need to roll, and then we may need to fertilize again. Oh my gosh, really, LJ? Yes, I absolutely kid you not. So let's go back to what it says. And you remember cultivating? It says, so you can use a cultivator, a shallow cultivator, a disc harrow, or a power harrow, etc, etc, etc. The main difference are stuff. Regular cultivators are most effective against weeds. Well, we have weeds. But they dig up large stones. Ooh, bad stones. Shallow cultivators cover more ground, have a low power requirement, and the stones are smaller, but they're more expensive and not as effective against weeds. Right, I see. Disc harrows and power harrows have lower requirements, lower price, and higher working speed. Disc harrows won't dig up stones. Right, so I think what we want to do is we want to head on over to the shop, and we'll have a look at a disc harrow. Now, what we don't know, what I don't know, is whether this little dinky old tractor will have enough grunt to pull a disc harrow. But we're gonna go and find out, because I mean I'd like it to. It's my little tractor. It's the little tractor that desperately wants to. Look at it, it's tiny. It's like a dinky toy. The Lambrini. The Lambrini of tractors it is, Lambrini. So we'll check it out and see, but we'd like a disc harrow, please. So we'll head on over here, head on over to shop, and we'll see about one of them there disc harrows. Alright, come on. Indicate. Thank you. Right, okay. And we'll jump out before it stops. Go! Right. Right, disc harrows. Now let's see. Let's check our little tractor. Our little tractor is this Lambrini, which is can pull 2.9 ton, 112 horsepower. Okay, let's have a look at the harrows. We've got power harrows. Is that the same as the disc harrow? Could be. No, disc harrow. Right, this is a dinky one. It only requires 12 horsepower, 170 kg. That's pretty dinky. Disc harrows for shallow cultivation. This one, 120. No, 140, 180. Much bigger. So, this one requires 95. The Terra disc. It only weighs 1.9 ton. 16,000 bucks. What width is it? 3 meters. What's this one? 1 meter. So this means we get this done 3 times faster, and it's but it's way more expensive to lease. We'll take this one because we're not in a hurry. We're not in a hurry, and this is tiny, and attacher big, attacher small. I don't know if it makes a difference. But anyway, it's slow, but we got a small field. And only going to cost us 91 bucks to lease it. So we're gonna do that. Where's my little? It's tiny. It's absolutely tiny. It's absolutely tiny. Right. Okay. Oh, it's so dinky. It's kind of cute. Right. Come here, sir. Right. Let's go and see. Because look, it is what it is. Lower disc harrow. So the only solution we got for this is lower disc harrow, which is that's fine. Don't worry, it's not a big drama. Now then, one thing that I didn't show you, but I will show you now, is the issue with the fields. But before I talk about that, so we had that harvester, and you know how they have a pipe, a discharge pipe, and the pipe comes out, and you can chuck it in your little trailer, and I chucked it in my little trailer. And we put it over to the ground store and we sold it, which is no big drama. But if you want to, if you had a silo of your own on your farm, if that silo over there had a place that I could offload, you don't need to cart it anywhere. You can drive the harvester over and just offload it directly, right? You don't actually have to, it doesn't need to be in a trailer to be offloaded, is what I'm trying to say. Now, when I was doing the harvester, it probably matters not on this one because this vehicle is so small. But you remember I said when we were doing contracts, it doesn't matter because I can't damage someone else's crops. Well, yes, that's okay, but I can damage my own. So, you need to be real careful because what I found happens is, let us say, for example, for an hypothetical, my harvester, which had an AI worker in it, was trundling up and down here, and it was turning around in my corn, which does happen. The AI worker turns around in your corn, and then it stops because the tank is full. You can't get in there because you'll damage your corn to get your wagon in there. And I'll tell you this. The minute you jump into the vehicle, as the vehicle owner, guess what happens to your crop? It's automatically damaged. So be very careful with crop damage because it's calculated from when you're in the vehicle but not the AI worker. So if the AI worker stops in the middle of your crops and you have to jump in, it's going to damage your crops. So we'll lower our disc harrow, which is fine, and we'll head off, and we'll get our AI worker going. Oh, there you go. Oh, it's interesting. It's very interesting. But it's working fast. 18 kilometers an hour. That's working pretty quick. I don't mind saying. So we'll be done with harrowing this field in no time at all. And like the man says, no stones. So if we were to even have a look, you see, look at all these stones. Even on our field at the back has stones. So this field isn't going to have. It takes a while for them to sort out the field state. So all of these stones, like we said, damage your gear. They don't seem to do anything to crop yield, but they do damage your gear. So like the AI farmers and the AI contracts only do the basic stuff. So they don't do some of this. So they will do cultivating, plowing, sowing, and they will do harvesting. They'll do fertilizing. They might do lime, and they might do weeding. But I haven't seen stones or rolling or mulching come up on this map. And for this map, the AI doesn't do animals either. There may be other maps that the AI does do animals and things, but for this map, which is really the basic beginner map, they don't have any of that stuff. So I'm gonna let this little guy truck on around and do his thing, and he'll be doing what he wants to do. Now, what we're gonna want to do after this, because this is what I was saying about field states. This changes the field state. So once the field state has changed, it can then accept a new state. The new state we want to imbue it with is half fertilized, because the more fertilizer we get, the better the condition. So once it's changed field state, we want to look at fertilizing. Now, there are a couple of ways to do fertilizing. So there is slurry, manure, a fertilizer, or indeed spraying, which will do liquid fertilizer as well. So the question is, this is 350 kgs and takes 1500 liters, and this will go on the back, and it'll squirt stuff out the back, which is not that bad. It's a 1200 liter tank. We don't know. It says it's a mega 1200 liter tank. It's got 1500 liters in its top. That's a mega 1200 liter tank that apparently takes 1200 liter tanks. And no, this is just a tank. This is an extra tank. There's no spraying width. Sorry. This is the sprayer. This sprays 24 meters wide. If you wanted an additional tank, you can put the tank on the front, the sprayer on the back, and this increases the capacity. Right? This attaches to your tractor, so you have to put it on your tractor. The tractor has to be able to carry 1.5 ton. I think we've said our tractor carries 1.6, 2.9. So we could easily fit it on our little tractor, which is fine. Or there's a pull-along sprayer, which they cover massive areas. These are for big fields. You got these little whatever these are. Oh, you got to do a Spratty port. This is a Spratty port front tank, the front tank Xylon, and you've got this one, which is also a Cavernaland, 26.5. That's 34.5. The Cavernaland might be cheaper. Well, it might not be cheaper. It's just cheaper. So this is 26.5, and it has 1800 in it, and it takes liquid fertilizer, and the other stuff is weed killer. So that's not a bad option. Or you can have a fertilizer spreader, where you put solid fertilizer and you spread it. This one will hang on the back. 25,000, which is more expensive, isn't it? No, 26.5 for that one. So actually, having your little dinky Amazon. Let's see if there's any others. No, that's 26,000. That's 25,000. So having a little dinky Amazone carries 3,200 liters. Might be a savvy way to do it. So that's not bad. That would definitely work. That would definitely work. Manure would require us to get manure. I don't think we can get manure on this map. I think... Is he stuck? AI worker stop manually. I didn't ask him to stop. See what I mean? He damaged my crop because I had to jump into him. So I don't remember stopping him, but there you go. Dangers of fiddling round. So we'll be very careful. Line him up. Line you up, son. Line you up. Here you go. Ready? Right. Drop that arrow, son. Drop that arrow. Right. Here we go. Ready? Away you go. Right. What we're going to say is, yeah. So the animal dealer sells animals, and we can drop off stuff, but he doesn't sell manure. So on this map, we've got no manure to buy, right? So that's where that stands. So we can't do that. Same with slurry. So these are the kind of things that you'd pick up yourself. So you would have manure from your cows, you would have or your horses or whatever. You'd have slurry, etc. And you could use that. We don't have that. So that sort of limits our options. So where we'll be going looks like we'll be getting the little Amazone fertilizer spreader, and we'll have to put some fertilizer in when we're ready to go. Now the issue is how much fertilizer do we need? I think a field of this size is probably going to require slightly more than a bag. You see how he drives into my crop? Now he won't damage my crop if I leave him alone. If I jump in there, that will cause damage to my crop. So I ain't going to jump in there because I don't want my crop damaged. Just be careful of that. So I think what we'll do is we'll rent that little fertilizer. We'll buy a big bag of fertilizer, and we'll see how far it goes. And like I said to you, if you use the AI worker, they'll, with the buy fertilizer on, they'll buy the fertilizer. So if you look like you're going to run out, but the other issue is if you buy the fertilizer already, you want to like use it up to like 95%, because you don't want too much spare. Otherwise, just wasted cash, right? Just wasted cash. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this guy do his thing. Going to finish that off. We'll get the little fertilizer spreader going, and we'll come on back and we'll have a look at fertilizing. So we've done harvesting. This is cultivating, which is great. Looks good. And then we'll do fertilizing, and then we'll take it from there. Likely be the end of the episode, but I'll see you then. See you soon. Right, hello again. So we're ready to go. We've heard a little thing. A couple of things. One is you need to fill it. So on the back it's empty. You can see there it says the bottom 0%. And that is solid fertilizer down there. Now you can, if you hold it, you can open the cover manually yourself, which is fine. But you need to fill it. So when you actually back up to somewhere you can fill it from, and it'll take seeds or fertilizers. Sorry, this one only take fertilizer. You'll see that it says L3 refill fertilizer spreader. So we're going to refill it, and it's going to keep going until it's either full or we run out. So we ran out. We got 1,000 liters, and we're at 31%. Now you'll also see there that it's got work with 30 meters, 21 meters, 18 meters, 15 meters, and so on. I don't exactly know how wide our field is. I mean, certainly from my perspective, and from the perspective of making it faster, 42 meters is really wide. You don't really know till you do your first pass. At least I think you don't really know till you do the first pass. Maybe you know, because you're much better at this than me. So anyway, so you've got these kinds of things with your fertilizer spreaders, and it'll take you a while to get used to the idea and everything else. So anyway, we're heading over to our little field. So yeah, so as I was saying, it needs to change state. So harvested is one state, and we are now in cultivated as another state. So what we are going to do is, we have got this set at 42 meters. How long do we think that is? How long is that tractor? 10? Let's set ourselves up here. 42 meters is a lot. Let's set ourselves up here and see. So we'll lower it. We don't want to waste our stuff. We'll turn it on. And we'll head out with the yeah, we can do it in one pass. Oh, nearly. I just missed that little corner. If I'd adjusted that just perfectly, we would have got that. So that's fine. That's fine. Let it carry on, and we'll turn it off. Right. So we missed that little corner. We'll reverse it up. So we got to do another little pass just to grab that little edge that we did miss, which is a bit of a shame. So, but there you go. C'est la vie. So I'm pretty sure that covers it, doesn't it? Covers it. Yeah, we're covering it all. I'm not sure about that top corner, but like I said, we've already paid for this stuff, and we can't get it back. So we'll do a quick run around. Make sure we got everything. Everything looks like we've pretty much got it anyway, so that's fine. Just the cost of doing business. We can't really offload it anywhere that I'm aware of. So that's that. So there you go. Is there anywhere to go? We could open it, but I don't think that means that we can offload it anywhere. We can't offload this stuff. So oh, you can. It says unload. I don't know if we can keep it per se, but look, there's a little spot here, and maybe I'll figure out some kind of a way to load it or something. So let's unload there. Oh yeah, look at that. It does. It unloads our excess right there. So that's awesome. So let's not be renting this bit of gear any longer than we absolutely have to. So we don't need that. So there you go. Right. So that's that. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So it should have changed states. Yeah, 50%. So it's now changed its field state to something completely different. Here we go, over here. So it's now saying seed bed. So it's now ready to take seeds, I think. Or is that lime? No, it's not lime. It's been fertilized halfway. Some of it's been fertilized twice. And here it says it's ready for a seed bed, which is fine, but we're not ready to plant, because we want to plant sunflowers, right? And we're not going to be ready to plant sunflowers again until March. So it's done. That field is done. That field is ready. That field is good to go. So we can just leave it. Sorry, I've got a couple of contracts on the go to make a little bit of money. So that's fine. So we can leave it. Just leave it. It isn't going to matter. It isn't going to do anything. It won't degrade. It just stays how it is. So that's fine. So we've done the little bit that we need to do. We've prepared that one. We've got this one, which is ready to go. Hopefully, maybe October 2nd or October 3rd. That one will be ready to go, which is fine and dandy. Oh, let's have a look at our animals. So their productivity is 100%. We've got 208 liters of wool. Their grass is fine. Their reproduction is only 20%. That's just because they're still young. They're only 9 months old. So that's fine. The chickens are up to 50%. They've produced 86 eggs. We maybe need a little bit more grain. If you go and have a look now, you'll see you got these pallets. So I need something to pick up pallets, or I will need something to pick up pallets at some point. They don't go off, so don't worry about that. That's the wool. The wool is coming out here, so we've got a bale of wool, too heavy to lift, so you can't carry it. We've got nothing else. And our honey over on the other side was doing oh well. We're doing oh well at we're. Whatever that means. Hello, bees. Yeah, look at this. We're doing pretty good. So eventually what I'll say is that, look, you can see the bees. Bye, bees. Eventually it'll say there's not enough space here and you need to move it. And we'll need to have a look at moving it. And we'll have a look at moving pallets and what we can do with pallets when we need to move it. It looks like we'll probably need to do honey first. I have a contract going and a full guy that needs a bit of work, which is fine. But so there you go. We've covered a few things. We've covered some harvesting things. We've covered some field preparation things. We've covered our field. We've covered a few other little bits and pieces with animals and so on. All the rest of it. We've covered some other contracts, kinds of things you need to harvest, like potatoes. This one here, which is full, this is sugar beet, which is exactly the same. Halem chopper on the front. You've got it's got a panther on it. Look at that. I got the panther eyes on you. Pardon me. So yeah, we've got this, which is the same. You need a Halem chopper and then a thing, a harvester. It looks exactly the same as the potatoes, and I got a truck that I need to fill up, and so on. I've got a guy doing cultivating. It's exactly the same as the small cultivator. It's just a bigger machine with a bigger tractor. So you've seen all this before. So this is all jolly good. And we're moving along. We're moving through the seasons. We've had a look at our finances. We're now into the season of, what is it? Mists of Mellow Fruitfulness or something? We're coming into autumn. Are we coming into autumn? How does the calendar consider it? The calendar considers it in... yeah, autumn. So September, October, November is autumn. December, January, February is winter. So we're in the heart of autumn. We've got some harvesting to do. There'll be a lot of contracts involving harvesting, preparing fields, getting things ready for winter. And hopefully we'll cover some of those in the next episode. Things like liming, spraying, that kind of thing. And yeah, and we'll take it from there as part of the showcase. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying it. Please do click a like if you are. Please click a like if you're not, and would like me to get better. Please subscribe to the channel. It does help an awful lot. And please feel free to drop any comments, thoughts, tips or tricks of your own, or things that you think I've missed, or things that you think that I need to discuss further or clarify. And I will see you all again real soon. Ta-ta for now.
PlayStation